Well, first, let's turn it over to Trey Inks, live in Tel Aviv with the latest out of the Middle East. Trey.
Yeah, Todd, Carly, good morning. An intense 24 hours across the Middle East. Minutes ago, more explosions rocked the Iranian capital of Tehran as the Israelis are going on the offensive after they came under a significant Iranian ballistic missile attack overnight. This all started yesterday afternoon when the IDF struck the Lebanese capital of Beirut. They were going after a Hezbollah command and control center there in response to rocket and drone attacks over their northern border. Now, the Iranians shortly after threatened to target Israel for hitting their largest proxy in the region and later launched 4 waves of ballistic missiles at this country. As those missiles were soaring through the skies of Israel, I spoke on the phone with President Trump, who told me what I would suggest to Iran: you've shot your missiles, that's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal, the president said. President Trump indicating that this is not going to help the ongoing negotiations. Now, Israel later launched a series of airstrikes against the Iranian regime, targeting both central and western Iran, later hitting a petrochemical plant in western Iran. And this was taking place as the Iranians started to launch more ballistic missiles at Israel. Early this morning, civilians here in Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv awoke to sirens sounding. The Houthis, an Iranian proxy in Yemen, had launched a ballistic missile toward the central part of this country. This morning, more waves of Iranian ballistic missiles, and the region now waiting to see what will come next in the aftermath of the strikes that are currently taking place as we speak. And so a lot of back and forth happening in the region. And at this moment, the ceasefire has collapsed and the war has. Absolutely. When I spoke with President Trump, he told me he had expected a deal to be signed today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, and now this, he said. And he was pointing to the fact that obviously this is going to change the timeline in the negotiations. Now, we heard an interesting statement early this morning from the spokesperson for the Iranian Foreign Ministry, who indicated there are still messages being exchanged with the United States indirectly through mediators in Pakistan. This is an indication that the mediators may be trying to get things back on track in the region, but there is an understanding that this may escalate before it de-escalates. It's the reason the Israelis have canceled schools across this country, and they are urging civilians to adhere to the alerts that are coming out from the Homefront Command guidelines. When the alerts come in, sometimes it's just a few minutes before people have to get into bomb shelters and take cover amid this incoming fire.
And Trey, just one more fundamental question on background so people at home understand. Why is this ramped up fighting between Israel and Iran taking place right now?
Yeah, so this is happening right now in the context of a broader war that occurred earlier this year during Operation Epic Fury, when the United States and Israel launched a series of airstrikes against the Iranian regime to target the country's military infrastructure because they were unwilling at that time to reach a negotiated settlement that would address the country's nuclear program and also international shipping lanes in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Trump administration negotiators, including U.S. Special Envoys Witkoff and Kushner, have made significant progress at the negotiating table. But still, things have been stalled in the region, with Iran unwilling to make those final concessions as it relates to the highly enriched uranium that is buried deep underground in the aftermath of Operation Midnight.
This morning, Trey, thank you. Stay safe. Let's bring in national security and military analyst, international relations expert, Dr. Rebecca Grant. And Doctor, you just heard Trey Inks say this ceasefire is all but over. Do you agree?
I do, but technically that is going to be the call of Admiral Cooper, who commands our forces in Central Command. I'm sure he's got his forces on high alert there this morning, local time, but we'll see what will be done. I'll tell you, though, from a tactical perspective, this was a very smart move by Israel to go after some active Iranian air defense sites. And that barrage of 10 incoming missiles from Iran against Israel, Iran started it, but it also tells me Iran is really running low on missiles.
So there's also some reporting out there about how the president told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to retaliate against Iran following Iran's initial wave of missile strikes, and also told Trey Inks that he's not happy about Israel's strikes on Lebanon. Some would describe that as a divide between Israel and the U.S. Others would say that's just a normal difference in opinion between two allies. How do you view it?
A difference of opinion between two allies, definitely. And I will say that because it looks to me like Israel picked up some very active Iranian radar-based air defense sites for the targeting, that this is a good move overall for our forces in the region. So President Trump, President Netanyahu, very close allies. And I think these strikes are going to put some additional pressure on Iran, and I like that.
Dr. Grant, you heard Trey Inks at the end of his report talk about
they are trying to use Hezbollah's grip on Lebanon to ruin the talks with the U.S. in order to keep that nuclear dust, right? But I think the nuclear dust is something they are negotiating on. I'm telling you, President Trump won't stop until we have that nuclear dust accounted for. And with the talks now taking place between Israel and Lebanon, Hezbollah is also going to be on the ropes.
We'll also Rebecca, missile alert siren sounded in Saudi Arabia this morning near an airbase that hosts U.S. forces. And the president said that, of course, one of his red lines to restarting military action would be the killing of American citizens. So how at risk are our military bases in the region right now?
Well, they are very, very tightly protected. They're now experts in that counter-drone and counter-missile threat. Admiral Cooper will have seen the Iranians getting ready to do that attack on Israel, and they are completely buttoned down. But I tell you, those strike options are ready to go anytime President Troop and Admiral Cooper are ready for them. 2 aircraft carriers to Tripoli, a lot of land-based air, and ready to hit back. And so Iran really better watch it. I think this is very close to seeing some U.S. strikes as well, unless President Trump is happy with the state of negotiations.
Okay, I'm going to force you one step further. You said this could happen. If you were advising the president and his team, would you encourage further kinetic strikes against Iran to get them to the table?
That's a big ask. I'd look at the Israeli BDA. If they knocked out enough of those air defense sites, that means Operation Rough Rider in 2025. I don't like seeing them way into the mix here, but their claim that they're going to close the Red Sea, it's nothing. Israel is well capable to handle Houthi ballistic or cruise missiles. The Houthis are just a sideshow right now.
And today, notable, marks the 100th day of the Iran war launched on February 28th. So just wanted to make a note there as we
focus on conservative political perspectives. Here is a quick overview of what the network does and its current status. Core functions. News coverage. Fox News provides 24-hour news coverage, including breaking news, national and international reporting, and business analysis. Political commentary. A significant portion of its programming is dedicated to opinion and analysis shows, featuring well-known hosts who discuss current events from a conservative viewpoint. Digital and mobile. Beyond television, Fox News maintains a robust digital presence through its website, the Fox News app, and social media channels, offering live streams, on-demand videos, and written articles. Sports and entertainment. Through the broader Fox Corporation, the brand is heavily involved in sports broadcasting such as the NFL and general entertainment via its associated platforms like Fox Sports and Tubi. Recent developments as of June 2026. Integration of Outkick. As of June 8, 2026, the digital sports platform Outkick has been integrated as a vertical within Fox News Digital to expand its sports and culture coverage. NFL partnership. Fox Corporation recently announced a new multi-year agreement to bring NFL football content to Fox platforms in Mexico starting in the fall of 2026. Current news coverage. The network is currently covering a range of ongoing international and domestic stories, including the latest developments in the conflict between Israel and Iran. Perspective. Fox News has long been a subject of intense debate in the U.S. media landscape. Supporters often view it as a necessary alternative to what they perceive as a liberal bias in other major media outlets. Conversely,